Hey guys, video number 2 in this series of protecting your car and maintaining resale value. There's another area of your car that's really critically important to protect, which is your headlights. Headlights are extraordinarily expensive. My headlights are LEDs, and I've looked online, and if you were to buy a brand new set, they're about $3,000. Even used ones, about $1,500. So certainly something that you want to make sure you try to protect as much as you can. Headlight lenses are made out of plastic, and of course plastic is kind of susceptible to scratches, dents, stings, rock chips, etc. And so one of the products that, again, you guys have heard me talk about is Lamin-x. Really nice product. They actually make a headlight film. And all you do is very similar to what you did with the film for the paint. You put it over top of the headlight. The film itself is a little bit different. It's actually a little bit thicker. And it's a little bit tricky to work with. You're going to need a heat gun or a hairdryer. Because you need to kind of deal with a complex curve of the headlight. It does a really nice job. I chose to go with the tinted version just to give the car a little bit more of an aggressive look. They have a spectrum of darknesses. They go from tint all the way down to like dark. I personally chose tint because I didn't want to impact my nighttime visibility. So this video will go through how I went through and installed them. It'll show you a little bit of before and after, and then at the end of it, I'll actually address, can you actually see? When I drove around and I just for a few minutes, no impact at all that I saw from a visibility standpoint. The LEDs are still very bright, and I'm happy with the product. So take a look and check the link down below for 20% off at Lamin-x. Appreciate it. Have a good one. Factory LED headlights, which are awesome, but kind of wanted to protect them with something. I'm a fan of Lamin-x, if you've seen in my other videos. As I was ordering up the film to protect these headlights, I was like, look, is this the moment where I try smoking them? So I take a little bit of a gamble, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to apply protective film that'll cover this whole thing, keep it from getting any more rock chips than it already has, or little marks, and then it'll actually smoke them at the same time. So I don't know how that's going to impact lighting. That's one of my concerns. We'll try it. I'll do a side-by-side. I'll go in the car, I'll turn on the lights, and you guys will be able to see one headlight with Lamin-x and one without. So the first thing that you want to do is you really want to clean these. So I'm actually going to use a clay bar and take off any kind of debris or wax or anything that's on there, because anything that's in the way will hurt the ability of the film to really adhere. So I'm going to clay bar it. I can actually hear, and you can hear it's picking up stuff, which makes sense at the front of the car. And we're going to do our best. There's some marks that are not going to come out. They're already just embedded in there, so I have to live with them. I did buy the car used, or certified pre-owned as BMW would call it. Now I could have gone through and done like the headlight restoring buff, but there's really almost nothing wrong with these lights. There's a tiny little pit mark, probably from a rock hitting it at some point. Alright, I've gone ahead and clay barred this, and we're going to wipe it down, make sure that it's super clean. And I'm actually a little bit nervous of putting alcohol on there, so I'm not going to do it. The reason why I say that is I've seen images on the internet of people having these get like a weird fracturing mark on them. I don't know what caused that, but in my mind, I'm not going to try it here. I've gotten the film off, and I've really wetted everything down. Now what I'm trying to do is, according to the instructions, I'm just trying to get it lined up with the general shape of the headlight. And they say you should get the corners done because that'll kind of position you where you need to be. I'm use a little squeegee and squeegee in just this corner. It's cut pretty precisely, so I'm going to stick to what they have cut set for me and use that as my guide. So I'm just following the curvature. It's got these little tabs that they say later you're supposed to cut off. That frightens me a little bit. I'm going to try to tuck them in because I don't really want to take a blade to my paint or anywhere near my paint, if I'm honest. Okay, so kind of just squeeging it into place, and I wanted to get this front section as close to the edge as I could, and the reason why I did that is because you can see that edge. This top edge you can't really see. So we're going to try that for a second and see if I can't get this thing to sit flat. I think you're going to have to use a heat gun. What it recommends is a hair dryer. I have a heat gun to get this thing to kind of shrink into position. Now before you even consider using a heat gun, I want you to remember this is a plastic lens. This paint can burn. This is a plastic bumper. Never ever go on high heat, no matter how much you think you need to. Just go on low and stay far enough away as you can just to get it to tack. Here comes the super tricky part. So you have a super complex curve right here. I've heated it, and I'm trying to just get it to lay down flat. I don't know if it will. I'll lift it a little bit. The very good news is this is in a section of the light that will be underneath the hood and the whole time. So not likely you would see it, but I still want to try my best to try to get this complex curve to go flattish or flatter than it is. It's not very flat right now. Okay guys, so thus far from inside the car, it's pretty hard to tell that there's any difference between the two lights. So the one on the right is Lamin-x and the one on the left is not. So I think you can see a little bit of degradation in the light output, but really not much at all. These complex curves, they are just tricky, and you have to keep moving back and forth on them, throw a little heat. You want to try to get the most complex of the curves flat first, and then you can kind of come back and flatten out the other ones. Heat does work. You know, you just got to use it kind of sparingly, because you don't want to make it so this material is just basically done for and like locked, because then if you need to reposition it, you're out of luck. And then slowly but surely, you'll get to something like that. And there you have it, folks. Smoked headlights on an F30 BMW. I already checked it out. Doesn't really do anything from a light transmission standpoint. I need to Google. Maybe they have something with their film where it kind of lightens up as light hits the back of it. I'm not sure, but to me, it didn't really seem to do anything to the light transmission. So you can see, light still comes through fairly well. That haziness, that kind of is actually moisture trapped underneath there, which should go away in a few weeks or so as the thing just kind of bakes away the moisture. And then also my headlights weren't perfect to begin with, so unfortunately that really shows up. It showed up on the stock lenses as well. I think that's just the person drove the car before me for 24,000 miles and didn't have any protection on there, so it kind of hurt things. But that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you like my videos, please like, comment, and subscribe. I would appreciate it, and have a good one.